The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble! You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He's our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz. Oh, Oz, you're muted. Oz.
Really quick, because this actually just surprised me. Breaking news. I found a collectible that made Jay say, you know what? I think this is too much. Go to our Discord, see what that is, and hopefully
that is big news. I haven't seen that yet myself. I'm like, what is it? Look, there it is.
I'll give you a hint. The version that I put is not the nude version that's also available.
Oh, wow. There we go. Wow. Okay. Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler, and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
What's up? I just saw
it. Go to Discord. Yeah. There it is. There it is.
I gotta fix for myself. I gotta fix the notifications on it because I do want to get notified when we, get a post. But sorry, thinking out loud.
I'm sitting here like, where are we going with this exactly? Like, okay, there it is. My name's Lawrence Young. They call me Mary Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today. We're going to be, well, first of all, it's Cinco De Moe-yo. Woo! Which, and I know somebody out there is like, listening, either they're watching or listening live or listening, they'll listen later tonight and be like, well, it's not Cinco de Mayo. No. Cinco De Moe-yo, which is Moses' birthday, which is actually tomorrow. But we do on Fantastic Forum. Whenever the closest show is, we celebrate our hosts' birthdays. So, Cinco De Moe-yo. So we're going to be, except for Jay's? Why except for Jay's?
He never wants us to do anything for his birthday.
Well, what Jay wants.
We're going to do it anyway.
There's of little consequence.
This year we're going to do it. I don't give a fuck.
And there it is. And so, that's our Cinco de Moe-yo show. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things that Moses likes. Oh, Moses is. Like that's the plural possessive. What? Exactly. So we'll be doing that. Huh?
I'm not possessive. That's a negative trait, man. We can't talk about my negative traits on my birthday.
Oh, there it is. Moses is giving. Everyone knows that about Moses. Oh, look at this. Look who it is. Ladies and gentlemen. He's our riddle inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. Our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man. Good to see you. You doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I'm convinced. All right. Yeah. So we'll be talking about stuff Moses likes.
Again,
I know. We're also going to talk about Justice League 75, which is the death of the Justice League. So we'll talk about that. And of course, the latest and greatest in comic book and geek culture news. So we got all that going on for you. And we'll tell you, of course, whatever else you all want to talk about. And we'll tell you how to get down on Fantastic Forum in just a moment. But first, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin. Without him, this show wouldn't exist. So what up, Scott? Thank you, good sir. And with that said, let's hear from our intern.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Yeah, join the party. So, you can jump into our chat, whether that be on Twitch or on YouTube. You can call in. The link is right there in the description. Let us know. Oh, pull it. We're already pulling witty chat comments into the show. Who it says that's Alfonso saying happy birthday to Mo, manager, mentor, barber, and long life friend. That means that you won't die soon. That's what that means. Long life friend.
It means he's old. He's had a long life.
Happy birthday, you long life friend.
You're gonna see Alphonse tomorrow when we go see Doctor Strange.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. It's gonna be an amazing time. I wish you could come, Oz.
I mean,
I did buy him a ticket.
Define come.
Oh, see, never mind. Never mind. I'm happy you're where you are.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it Sunday.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So that's cool. So like I don't think we're not gonna be able to help but talk about it next week. But yeah, very excited to see it.
I don't care.
Huh?
You guys know I don't care about spoilers.
No. But you're gonna see it Sunday, so there won't be any spoilers.
Oh, I thought you meant like throughout the week.
Oh no, I'm talking about next week's show. I'm sure we'll talk about it throughout the week, but we'll wait until after you see it.
Like on our official Discord, which you can go to now and talk with us.
Oh man, we might have to start making rules for that kind of stuff, huh?
Nah.
Nah.
Look, that's why we bought Discord, like Elon Musk bought Twitter, so people could just.
Did we bought all of Discord? I didn't even realize that.
He paid $4 billion. We got it for free on the App Store. Like,
good for us, man. We know how to.
Here's the rule: enter at your own risk. Done.
There are no rules. It's like Fight Island. You can eat babies and beat up men.
I'm just saying, man. Like, I know personally, if I went to my own Discord and got spoiled for Doctor Strange because I waited to go see it like Saturday in my own Discord, I'd be like, dude, I would feel like Boo Boo the Fool. Like, how did I let my community spoil my joint for me?
Don't click on the TVs and movies section. How about that?
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Okay.
You see, I'm over here solving all your problems, Lawrence.
You're
welcome.
Your solution.
I will say, if you are going to spoil stuff, tag your post as a spoiler, just so people can have a heads up.
There you go. Just that simple. Tag it as a spoiler. You don't have to. Let's say don't. Or we can look. Isn't there like a way to make like a temporary kind of like spoiler-free area? Like you could be like, okay, this is where you go if you want to talk Doctor Strange spoilers in the Discord.
Actually, I think there might be a way for you to post as a spoiler so that it's hidden and you have to click on it to see it. But I have to check on that.
Yeah, well, let's hope that we have that, because that's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for people not to talk. I'm just saying, can I make a conscious decision not to get spoiled if I want to? I don't want to because sometimes like I know like the way my notifications are set up for Discord, I don't have to even go into Discord. I can just like sometimes I get a push notification and I can see what somebody had written without even going to Discord, just looking at my notifications.
That's where you fuck up. That's how you get spoiled.
Yeah, I turned all of that off. All of that off. I tell you when I want to see what you're saying.
I get a notification, but no preview or nothing. I have to click to see it.
Oh,
because
then if you click, then you see it.
Right, but if it's a spoiler and it's tagged as a spoiler, then I know not to read it. If I give a fuck about spoilers,
Got it. So tag your stuff as spoilers, folks. If you don't know how to do it, hit up Jay.
Ulysses Tiger Claw in chat says, "Did everyone watch the final? Did everyone watch the final episode of Moon Knight? What are your thoughts, especially that post-credit scene?" I still haven't seen the second episode.
Are you messing around?
Yeah, no, I only watched the first episode for the show.
Oh my god.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't believe have only seen the first episode.
Wait, are you serious, Jay? You I believe, because that's the kind of dude you are.
I don't like
Man.
Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight, and I don't like that how that Moon Knight looks.
Okay.
Like, so it's just I figure, I'm not gonna sit there at the edge of my seat every week to watch it. I'll just wait till it's done and then watch the whole thing.
That's fair.
Like, it's like vomiting. You want to vomit to get it all out at once. You don't want to do it once a week to finally get rid of that meal.
Are we talking about this and are we spoiling?
Yes.
No.
Unless Jay
Yeah.
No, I don't care.
For me, yeah, I don't care either.
Okay. All right. Well, listen.
So I'm watching
the
good
spoilers for our audience. If you're watching this, come back in like 2 minutes.
Let me see if I can make a little chyron that says spoilers Moon Knight.
Okay.
Jay, you know how to make that, right?
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, wait. When you see the spoiler banner go away, that's when you know.
Yeah.
You can watch again safely.
What I will not let you spoil, Jay, is From, because Larry and I only watched 2 episodes, and Emily said if we could please do not do spoilers. So I'll respect that.
Okay.
But we'll get to that later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh, it's up. So Layla, huh? Dude, Wonder Layla was amazing.
Yeah. It's interesting because what I will say is this: is the costume looked good, but I don't understand the wings.
Yeah, that was weird because it's a hippo god.
Well, but what I should say is this: from an Egyptian standpoint, I get the wings. What I don't understand is we can do this, and no one seems to have a problem or don't feel like there's any kind of like issues with like repetition, because she's definitely pulling some moves out of Falcon's playbook, right? But meanwhile, we can't have Miss Marvel have stretchy powers because supposedly somewhere down the line there's gonna be a Fantastic Four movie, And I'm just like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like with that dude is all like, those wings are here, like those wings are in the MCU, but there's nobody else in the MCU right now that stretches. But we're like, nah, so we're gonna give her energy constructs.
You had a War Machine and Iron Man. And then you had Warmonger, and then you had was it Whiplash? They made Whiplash more Iron Man-y.
Yeah.
The repetition thing is not. It's a bad excuse for Miss Marvel. Yeah.
I think they're supposed to look like that.
I'm not familiar with that. Like, I don't know that's like, and that's the thing I can say too, where it's like, that might be a character in the Marvel universe, but I'm unfamiliar with her.
Oh, she is.
So, like, oh, okay. But what's the name?
Her name is Layla.
No. I know she's a character. I'm talking about the persona. I thought that's what you're asking about, but I know you haven't seen it, so never mind.
No, I'm just asking. Like, I have a picture of her with the wings, and it's like,
oh yeah,
put it up. We'll tell you how it looks.
Yeah, put it in chat.
Yeah, but then they'll see. Like, the spoiler banner stops them from hearing. But if they have it on mute, like if they muted it and waiting for the spoiler banner to go away, they'll see it.
They'll be like, you're right. That's fair. So I'll look that up on my own.
Without context, does it really get spoiled?
Is there a name for the character?
Okay, I'll put it.
No, you don't have to put it up.
We have a private chat.
In the private chat.
Oh, okay. Is there a name for the character?
No, I don't see one.
Okay. Because, I'm familiar with Moon Knight to a degree, but I'm not. I know more about Moon Knight than your average person, but not enough to call myself like a Moon Knight fan. You know, it's like the majority of like I've read Moon Knight comics on my own.
That's just a picture from the show. I thought you had like a comic version.
No, the comic version, she's just like a blonde chick, right?
No, I'm having trouble getting the comic version, but
I mean, I was
sure
just looking at that version?
picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a comic version.
Oh,
Mo's right. It's a blonde woman.
But that might be Layla Miller, though.
It could be Layla Miller.
I did see her.
Joe knows Layla Miller. She knows things. Jay knows Layla Miller.
Do I? Who's that?
Oh, never mind. I thought
she
he
was
did.
X Factor. That X Factor series you like.
Oh.
She was married to Madrox after they aged her up weirdly.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, Madrox messed around and was like, you know what? She's pretty hot for a 13-year-old.
Setting aside hot Layla, dude, that post-credit scene, I think is gonna make Mo the maddest of all. Why? If he got mad with Stephen Grant, Jake Lockley's gonna just piss him off so bad.
I mean, I'm not that invested in Moon Knight like that, and they already. I mean, that padding is already like done. Like,
dude doesn't even speak English. He's speaking Spanish.
like Spain Spanish, right?
Yeah, like
yeah. Speaking Castilian.
When the wife sees it, she's gonna put him in her story.
Right. It's interesting because I will say that I'm pretty certain. Like, I feel like if you add it, I feel like we got more Moon Knight in this episode than all the 5 episodes put together. Like, I think if you add them all up, I think you get less Moon Knight in the first 5 episodes than you do in the last one. Which
definitely
is kind of crazy.
A lot more Conchu.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I personally like really enjoyed the last episode. I felt like it delivered, but it does, you know, it teases.
Tiger Claw. I thought Moses would love a Spanish-speaking Jake Lockley. I mean, the character's not Spanish.
He didn't want a Spanish-looking Mark Spector,
He's
right?
here's the
thing: the Mark Spector, the Mark Spector thing, and it's a Hispanic guy. Like, that guy pretends to be Jewish to get jobs. Like, he should be pretending to be a Jewish mercenary guy with powers, you know. But no, he's not Jewish.
Jake Lockley of the Madrid Lockleys.
Yeah, it's Lokeli.
Lokeli.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
You know, the show. I mean, it's not gonna piss me. I already got as pissed as I'm gonna get for it, and then now I'm just gonna concentrate on enjoying what little I can. You know, now that I'm getting older, I kind of look at things a little differently. This is what I say when you watch me throw shit after Doctor Strange. They fuck some shit up.
His heart's gonna give out. He has to be careful these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to mess around and end up on a machine.
Don't put that bad juju on me, Larry.
All right, are we done with Moon Knight?
Is there anything that would connect it to like Doctor Strange and the, you know, do they even do the Outer Void or whatever?
No.
No? Okay, never mind.
They don't, like, this could totally be its own thing, not even MCU connected the way they did it. I'm sure it is.
I don't know if I would say that because it drops some subtle MCU connections.
Yeah, but Disney will just remove them in a censorship cut.
I don't know.
I figured out why they did that censorship thing.
You don't know what that means?
No, I mean,
you don't remember how they were censoring all the shows, all the TV shows.
They like how they censored it for like a moment and then they put it back. Yeah, I remember.
They didn't. Here's the problem. So,
They
for
didn't
me,
put it back?
I couldn't log into Disney Plus. It was asking for the password, and it was automatically put me because they redid their parental controls, so you can watch like a kid could watch The Punisher or Defenders, but you get a TV-14 version. So I have to log in to make my setting the adult setting. So right now I'm actually watching everything TV-14. You know.
Wait, so it's basically you're saying there's two versions.
Right. So if you could still your kid could still watch the Daredevil, but you're going to get a TV-14 version of it.
Oh, so they didn't edit. Well, they edited it, but they edited it because there's
Right.
two versions.
The problem is they put the edited version, the censored version, on the adult
As the
one,
default.
as the default.
Oh,
But that was a mistake. But they didn't tell you that that's what they did. I know that's what they did because after the last app update, or like 3 weeks ago, it kept asking me like, "Do you want an adult profile or a kid's profile?" And I'm like, "Well, adult." And they kept asking me for a password, and I kept forgetting it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep watching like this because I'm watching fucking cartoons. So it's like I'm watching Y7 X-Men. So yeah,
right.
I'm not tripping.
There it is. Like you should watch the adult version of X-Men. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Like now they should just do like an X-rated Disney Plus. Like just do all the porn parodies and put them part of the MCU. You can just sign in like with my adult profile.
So should we drop the banner so everyone could tune in?
So there's nothing connecting it to the Doctor Strange, right?
No.
Okay. Doesn't seem so. But who knows, man? Look, maybe he might just pop in. You never know.
Yeah. They did that just in case they don't have to, in case they don't want to renew his contract.
Yeah, I mean, look, Daredevil wasn't really connected, even though they made mentions until it officially got connected with the Spider-Man movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's in that vein.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to say anymore because the banner went away.
Right, exactly. No, that's a good job, boss. What should we talk about first, gents? Where would you like to go?
Let's do
From.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some From. You good with that, Jay?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, good.
Jay, why don't you tell us what From is?
Okay. So From is about a family. They're on vacation and they're driving and they end up like at this fallen tree and ravens come. And so they have to turn around, like avoid the tree. So they turn around and they end up passing through the town and they keep going and then they pass through the town again and like 3 or 4 times and they figure out that they cannot leave this town. And everyone here is stuck. And
it's a TV show, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like everyone is stuck and at night monsters come. Seemingly unkillable monsters. And so it's about this family joining this community as they try to live their lives in this terribly fucked up situation.
Mm-hmm. That pretty much sums it up.
Larry, what did you think of that first episode?
What did I think of the first episode?
Like, there's a specific scene that I want you to describe how you felt watching it, and it was the window scene.
In the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, the show does a good job of creating tension. At least for me. Now, I could totally see, like, in retrospect, having watched 2 episodes, It's a relatively tame show. It's eerie. I don't know if most people would call it scary. I was pretty much terrified. but that was just because I'm like thinking about all the things that could potentially happen at every moment. And I feel like it does a good job of like I feel like the show does a good job of making you feel like something could happen even though nothing's happening. You know what I mean? Like it feels like any moment these things could come for I'm gonna say like, these things could come for me. That's how I felt. They could come for me. Because I felt like, the way that the show was immersive enough that I felt like I was in this town with these people. And so I'm just like, man, like, can we just mess around and make sure these talismans stay where they're supposed to stay? And like, why do windows even open? Why do windows even open? I don't even understand. Like, I mean, okay, it gets hot. So let's just sweat. We can just sweat, right? Let's everybody get naked. Everyone just get naked.
The sheriff told the guy, like, you got a kid, you nail your fucking windows shut,
Dude, it's so creepy and twisted, and I don't know what's happening. But it's enjoyable. But like I said, like here's a part like when in the second episode, there's a point where there's a woman that is telling the mom about like the situation in the town, and she's telling her own story about her and her sister. And for me, I was just like, she's telling the story and it's like it's tensing me up because I'm feeling like she's telling the story in such a way that I feel like I'm with her on this journey, one. And then two, I'm just like, I don't know, there's like I'm like, this woman, it feels like this mom is not believing her. And I'm like thinking like, is she about to like just go and like pull open a window or something? Like pull the window, like covering, not to open it, but like pull the covering just so she could see that there's something out there. And I'm like, and then the people are just, they're creepy as hell. Ugh. Like they're creepy before they become monsters.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm just like, it's really interesting. Like I'm fully intrigued. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen. And plus, it's one of these things too where I'm just like, I'm a fan of Harold Perrineau's. Like he's great and has been great. And this is just like one of those things where it's kind of like I want to know what's happening. I want the show to pay off. You know what I mean? And it could. It probably will. Like nobody like. The only thing it is obviously like Harold Perrineau was in Lost. So there's that kind of, like obviously the people that made Lost are not the people that made this show. But because it's him there, sometimes I'm like, man, this better pay off.
Well, it's from the makers of Lost.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, then never mind.
But not like fully like no, the producers. But
it's
yeah, but I know what you mean.
Too late.
Yeah.
Now my fears are justified.
Now, Larry, I know Joe loved this scene, and I got a kick out of it because I didn't think they would show. They described the viscera that is the child being killed by this monster, and then the camera goes to this child with its rib cage torn out. How did
So
you feel
awesome.
watching that?
I mean, listen, I'm not a fan of the blood and the gore, you know that, and so I mean, the only thing, and I mean, I'm not a fan of blood and gore generally, but the biggest part of it for me is like the whole suffering aspect of it, and so I didn't like seeing it, but at the same time, it's fortunate in the sense that I'm not watching a little girl get ripped apart. I'm not watching a person get ripped apart.
Wait till you
And
get to
that,
episode 4.
no, see, you don't know. You didn't see episode
I haven't
4.
seen it. Yeah,
You didn't see
I just
episode
know if
4.
they showed me a little kid with its like sternum like ripped out.
Yeah.
At the opening scene, like, what the fuck are they gonna show me next? You know,
dude, the dream sequence alone in episode 2 was enough for me. Where I was like, ah! That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Where it's like, and that justified my whole thing. Where I'm like, okay, like they keep making me feel like something could happen at any moment, and they almost wait for you to like, let your guard down before they do the thing. It's like, you sons of bitches. Yeah,
Well,
but it's a good show. Like the characters are interesting.
Now, I know I mentioned before, Larry, if you can get through the first episode, the show should be fine for you. I don't remember when I said that.
Mm-hmm.
So it might have been early in my watching, or it could be late in my watching.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if my opinion on that has changed or not, but you should definitely keep watching.
How do you not know if your opinion has changed or not? Like, you don't know if you feel the same way or if you feel different?
Well, you're
just trying to trap me.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right there it is. He's like, oh, man, I don't even know how to feel about it, man. But just go ahead and watch and, good luck, buddy. Good luck. Like, thanks, Jay. What network does it come on?
It's on Epix.
Okay. Tiger Claw says, did Mary Young scream like a baby while watching From? No, I didn't scream like a baby, Tiger Claw.
I don't know the way you said.
I screamed like a man. I was like, ah! I was like, oh, son of a bitch.
Now, one of the more positive things I can say about this is, the dream sequence, that was like a jump scare, and even to an effect, the window scene was kind of a jump scare. That does not persist. Like, they really go all out creating a tone so that you're just in a state of worry over your safety. And they're really good at that. So, like, it's not all jump scares. It's like they actually are trying to get inside your head.
It's working.
They do a good job at it. And another thing I like is, like, all of these people, I understand them. Like, they make mistakes, but I understand why they're making them. Like, when they do make a mistake, I understand why. Like, the characterization is really good on these characters. So I know you like characters. Like,
I do. That's what it's all about, man. Thanks. Let me tell you who was creepy as hell, and for no good reason. Victor going in to get the peaches. I was like, what the hell is happening with this dude? Like, I was like, oh man, like he was really strange.
Yeah.
And and I believe now that he'll just get stranger.
Now, I don't think this is a spoiler, but it's not for no good reason. Like, they characterize him like there's a reason he's like creepy and strange, and there's actually some really fun stuff with him because he is creepy and strange, and so like some of his interactions get really fun. Like some of his interactions with the other characters get really fun.
It's wild. What did you think about it, Mo?
I'm glad you asked. I was just about to interrupt with my thoughts on it, but I really enjoyed how Joe says the tone they create, because they do it in each episode. They'll give you a little jump scare, then the rest is all tone and character, and technically, like the way it looks, the set design, all that really comes into play in creating that, because everything just looks dilapidated. One of my favorite movies called In the Mouth of Madness, and it's about dude goes into a town that he can't get out of, and he fucking the town looks nice and clean, like in Mayberry, Here it's like you see like they're running out of resources. They're stuck in there, and there's nothing coming in or out that they can use to fucking fix a pool or fix a wall. Like all the installations like falling off because you don't know how many years that structure's been there. And they're just living their dirty, like they're in their own little post-apocalyptic bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something like this show is a show that's kind of executed all the concepts and story and acting and look is kind of executed for somebody that's used to reading these type of stories in comics in a graphic medium. So it's like that you see that they're uncomfortable being there, but they've accepted it, and it's like they're dirty. Like you see them, they're just sweaty and dirty and grimy. Like, yeah.
I don't understand why they're dirty though.
Well, because they don't have maybe a lot of running water, like they don't have a lot of, they don't have anywhere to go.
Know. I'm not buying that. I feel like there's running water. Because, like, one woman was like, I've been here like 3 years, right? Like,
yeah.
They're not going to a well. So somebody just decided not to wash their clothes. Like, it's
like they've given up,
I guess so.
That's how. To me, that's a character thing. That it's like I hear stories. John McCain was one of them. That when they were in the tire cages, like the ones that were able to get out and survive being a POW, were the ones that would, clean their clothes every day, get in uniform, do their routines while they're locked in the cage, and. I kind of see that with these people, and none of them are able to survive because they're like, fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, what I will say is I can understand that not everybody has, like, a change of clothes.
Yeah. Especially if they just stumble into the town. Like,
right.
A group going on vacation has several changes, but somebody that, like, in a car accident,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the show itself, like, it's really well done, and it has a really long intro, which is refreshing to see. But I actually fell asleep during the intro to episode 2 and woke up, and the intro was still going.
Hilarious.
I actually kind of like that song. Like, I don't listen to it every time, but it's actually, it's a good cover of that song.
Yeah, it's a good cover of Que Sera. And it's like an old man singing it. Yeah, it's like a Johnny Cash or a Lou Reed version type of Que Sera. And it just works. It works. And like no shows really don't do intros a lot. Like Netflix does them, but they're still a little short, and they let you skip them anyway. Here it's like, no, this is part of the experience. Watching this intro is part of the experience. Yeah, and I like it. The show itself I really enjoy, and it's just the look of it is just well executed, everything. Yeah, so 5 out of 5.
And I do hear it did get picked up for season 2.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll have to get Epics again once that starts.
And Larry, you weren't kidding when you're talking about that lady telling the story of what happened to her sister. Sister.
Is that not her sister?
I don't know. It just looked like a lesbian couple.
They're just tough ladies.
Yeah.
Runs in that family.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, my sister. but yeah, it's like just the dialogue, it's so well written. Like she's telling you what happened, and you're watching it like if it's one of the jump scares at the beginning of her episode. It's just done so well, and the camera movements, everything's just done so well in that little scene. And it's just goes to show you how seriously they take the execution of this show.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Whether you're
I just
talking
hope they,
about,
they have a fleshed out ending in mind, because
amen.
if it didn't, it might be a little weird.
Yeah,
Now,
I agree.
you've seen the creatures. What do you think they are?
I've only seen them in their like little human form things.
No, but like when they attack, they kind of morph.
Yeah, I didn't get a good look. I was kind of stoned
They
during
kind of
episode.
definitely have they have a vampire-esque kind of thing to them. But it's different. It's almost like some like almost like a ghoul or something.
Yeah, they're banshee or
Now, I know someone. I was watching someone talk about the show, and at first they were calling them vampires, which didn't really sit with me, just because vampires normally just drain the blood; they don't eat the meat. But she came back and said they might be an Irish monster called a slag. I'm saying that incorrectly.
How do you spell it?
Sluagh,
Oh man,
and it's
I've
kind
never
of
even
like
heard of that.
well,
one
in
of the
ancient Irish,
Fae.
it's Flowey,
There you go.
I
I
think.
don't know what that is.
Yeah, but it's one of the Fae. It's kind of like not a trickster exactly, but they do like mess with people's heads and like kill them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought that was interesting, like Irish
Yeah.
creatures.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I'm like, they're just eerie. They're eerie. And so,
All they need is a little white one for Larry to really shit himself.
They're already there. They have them. You've seen them? You ain't see those little white kids?
They weren't that little.
I mean, okay, you're right. They could be smaller.
Yeah.
Like if the little boy was one of them, if the son was one of them, I'd be out. I don't even think I could watch it. 'Cause that kid's a good actor. Like he did a good job, like doing his thing or whatever. But if that little kid was trying to act creepy, because that fool actually looks creepy sometimes just on his own.
When he was crying about the story character dying in the little story, like you're prophesizing something, aren't you?
Yeah. So that's good stuff, man. I like the show too. I would like to keep watching it. I don't know, like I know that. Yeah, if I can, right? Because I don't have Epics, and I don't know that. I mean, I think you got to subscribe to Epics to watch Epics. Like I watched it on Prime, and that's like they have like the trial. I think for you watch like the first 2 or 3 for free.
Nice.
Oh right, yeah.
But then that's after that they're like, okay, cough up this money.
Well,
but you get like a 7-day thing for like a buck.
Oh, you
like
can get 7 days.
Yeah, I think you get like 7 or 14 days for like a buck, and then they start to charge you.
Even the charge. Well, when I got Epics the first time, it was like $4.99. So it wasn't.
Yeah, the channel is cheap.
Yeah.
Which I would say, yeah, it's definitely worth it to watch from.
Yeah, for a month, and then they have other stuff. They have movies and shit too.
Some of the movies are pretty good. Some are lame.
They have good
I'm
original.
not watching Pennywise. I'm not or Pennyworth, whatever. Yeah. I'm not watching it.
And that's on HBO Max anyway. So if you got that, And
I haven't heard anyone talk about Dunk or Chapelwaite. Like, I've heard absolutely no.
Yeah. I don't even know what that is. What's that?
That's the one with the handsome dude. Like, he's handsome, but in like a weird way.
Seth Rogen.
He's got like that quilted face, like
quilted face,
tilted,
like kind of tilted, kind of twisted. I forget the guy's name. I could look it up.
I'm not talking about one of the Doctor Who's, are you?
It might be.
And then they have a show for
Adrian
Get
Brody.
Shorty. Oh, Adrian Brody. Yeah, that's right. Chapel.
Adrian Brody could be a Doctor Who if he was English.
But yeah, no one's talking about the show that I've heard of. So
yeah, and they have
Stephen
Get
King's a
Shorty.
writer.
Yeah, and they have Get Shorty, the TV series. If you like that movie, Get Shorty.
Is that a good show?
I don't know. I mean, it's a good book, and I think the show kind of like does the book thing a little more than the movie.
Got it.
So,
Got it.
If there's one thing I will say negatively about From, it's that their poster is really cool, but it doesn't tell you anything.
yeah.
Like it's cool to look at, but I had no idea. Like you look at it, and it's like I have no idea of what this
What
is
kind
about.
of show I'm gonna watch?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could pull that up.
Yeah, like I do feel like ideally your marketing material gives people at least some sense of what they're going to try to watch, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's what marketing material is for.
Unless it's epics, and then you just tell them that they look at it and they're like, I'm not watching that.
Like I will say, like, I don't know that I've ever seen anything where I'm like, oh man, I gotta get epics.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Like, I saw
it's the first thing where I'm like, okay, maybe I will.
I've seen every bit of promotional material for their shows, like on billboards, and I'm never like, okay, I want to see that, but I'm not gonna, you know. And then with From, it's I want, when I first heard about it, I wanted to see it, and then Howard Stern watched it and he loved it, so I'm like, oh, and then Joe, so I'm like, that's two people I like that like it, so let me check it out. And I waited till it's over, and then Epics themselves sent us a review copy, so I'll forward
there
it.
It is. Yeah, man. Like that could be Harold Perrineau could be a detective in that.
Yeah. And I saw the billboard and it was like, okay, I mean, it's interesting looking, but I don't know what it is, and I definitely wasn't going to get Epics for it.
Has something to do with snow globes, I think.
Right.
It's like it's Christmas.
But luckily, I found out monsters were involved, and I was able to watch the show and give it a chance.
It's like I think they were in a fire.
They do put a good amount of work into their shows, so it's not like they're bad shows, but it's just they get lost in the static of everything, you know.
There's so many streaming, or not streaming, but so many like additional channels, right? Like,
well, and that's the thing. Like, they should be a streaming thing because they are, but they don't promote that at all. Like, that poster doesn't say get it on the app. Sign up with that.
It because it's like a premium channel though. And every premium, right?
They have a app. Like, there's an Epics app,
right?
You can go to and just stream Epics. But why would I do that when I could get it on Amazon?
But I guess what I'm saying is, like, streaming Epics, like you don't. It costs the same as subscribing to Epics, right?
Right. But if you don't have TV, all you have is your internet and your tablet. Like, that poster should tell you that you can download the Epics app.
Got you. Okay.
Like, if anything, the shit they're doing on Amazon, they should do the same thing on the Epics app. Like, watch for free. Like, I'm sure it does, but that poster should tell you.
I hear you. Well, listen, we've already established Epics marketing apparently is doing something a little different. Like, and that's the thing. Like, that poster is intriguing. But it's not like but like Jay says, you don't look at that and be like, oh, I should watch that show because of whatever reason.
Like, it just looks like
you look at that and you're like, oh, go ahead.
It looks like a Guillermo del Toro movie that would get snubbed for an Oscar.
Yeah, like, unless you're familiar with the actor and you're like, oh, I like his stuff, but I'm not. So.
I'm familiar with him and like his stuff, and I still wouldn't look at that and be like, oh, I gotta watch that. It's like just because I'm like I don't know anything about it. Like, what is it like? Like I like Harold Perrineau. I would like to support him, but I'm gonna get a whole new station just to watch a show that I don't know what it's gonna be because Harold Perrineau's in it and that's it. Nah, man. Like, tell me what the story is. Something.
Like I'm at
Cinemax. Is Epic or Mepix? And that's a pretty good one, Tiger Claw. I like it.
Oh,
good job.
That's how you know it's bad, Tiger Claw.
I never knew Tiger Claw had a child.
Mepix.
Cinemax is on that bullshit too, man. Because they have good shows, and their app sucks, and then they don't have an Apple TV app. It's like, what the fuck? You know, like but they have an iPad app. Like, just it's the same code.
Right. Right. Someone's just being lazy. So, what are we talking about next, gents? Cinco de Moe-yo continues.
Mushoku Tensei.
Which one?
Mushoku Tensei.
God bless you.
He or she is great.
Jobless reincarnation, Larry.
Oh, jobless reincarnation. That's awesome. Look, I do feel like a fake ass anime fan sometimes because I don't know any of the Japanese names and stuff. And I'm like, it always like I find it very impressive when people say the Japanese names of the anime. And I sometimes I'm like it depends though, because sometimes I'm like I feel like sometimes anime fans say the Japanese name as like a test. You know, like they totally like throw it out there and they don't say the English name at all. But it's like it has an English name. Like we all know, like if you had just said Attack on Titan, we all would have been like, yeah, Attack on Titan's great. But you said the Japanese name and you're trying to like what is this? This is gatekeeping. Weeding out like the people that read Japanese from the people that don't read or don't speak Japanese. Like what is this for?
You know, they want to test out how much of a virgin you are.
I guess so, right? I'm like, dude.
Like, I have a friend that does that, and he would say that, I forgot what it is. It's like, say something, and he would say it, like, all the time, and I would, like, forget each and every time. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, Attack on Titan. It's like, for, like, over a year, he kept doing that. And it's like, you just say Attack on Titan.
I'm like, well, when they show
the Titans are attacking, so they shouldn't be like that. Title makes no sense. Like, dude, you're being asinine. Like, just be good.
When they show the joint in Japan, it says Attack on Titan on the screen too, right?
That's
like it has the
like the
it has the Japanese name and it says Attack on Titan. I think, doesn't it? Like, or is it also?
No, it does. Like Macross, because they used to do
that. It's because they know that this joint has crossover appeal at this point. So they're like, why would we make more than one title card when we could just combine the two into one and save ourselves a headache?
Yeah, it's like people don't speak Japanese. That's just the logo.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a graphic design.
The Japanese name doesn't even translate to Attack on Titan.
Oh, right, does it not?
What's it says?
What's it translate to?
The Advancing Giants.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense, actually.
But it's a worse. But
it's a worse title. Oh, absolutely. No, Attack on Titan is a much better title than The Advancing Giants.
Can't they just say Threading Behemoth?
Damn, Mo. You want a job? I'll hire you. I have no money. Sorry. Sorry. I apologize. It was like, you're fired, Mo. No.
I'll work for beer.
You work for beer? Oh, okay.
That's an endless cycle because the more beer I get, the better I get at the Titan.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, man. It's like it's a wild thing. Now, don't get me wrong, though. There are anime fans that I'm like, I like when they say the title. You know what I'm saying? Like some people have like a flair for it a little bit, and you could tell like they're not saying it like You know what it is? Here's what it is. I'm just realizing this right now. There's some people that just enjoy saying the title in Japanese.
Yeah.
And when that is relayed, like when I can feel that you're not trying to test me, you just like saying it. That makes me feel good because I like hearing somebody say something that they enjoy to say. You know what I mean? And so that I like, you know. But
feels pretentious to me.
When I was in high school, there was an anime club, and the girl that ran the anime club would do the announcement of what they were doing, what they were showing or screening for the anime club over the PA during the announcements in the homeroom, right? But she would do the trailer, the one-man performance of like the trailer, the preview in Japanese.
No,
yeah.
she wouldn't.
Yes,
no,
she
wouldn't, Moses.
Yes, she would. Yes, she
Moses.
would. Yes, she would.
Moses. Listen, so did she go? Was she able to graduate with all the bruises and bumps that she got from getting beat up every day?
Hey, look. Hey, she
just mailed her.
She had more friends than I did. She had more backup than I did.
She fought like an anime character, so she was fine.
Right. She had all those jutsus down pat. She was like, "Come for me if you want to."
She was better at making friends than I was. I only had 3 friends. She had 3 in each.
Not the fusion.
I'm just saying as I was in high school. I got 3 friends now.
He's so crazy. Oh man. But yeah, but that's the difference where I'm just sitting here like, you know, I'm like, man, these cats gatekeeping with these titles, and I'm like, man, if like and you know me, I'm the first one. Like, I have no problem being like, I don't know what that is. You know? And they'd be like, oh, you've never seen Attack on Titan? Yeah, I've seen Attack on Titan. Is that what you were saying? Everyone's seen Attack on Titan.
You said Advancing Giants. That's
I know. You should have said
People do that. It's like, speak English.
Some dude did that to me with fuck, I forget. It's one of those ninja animes. I totally blank out on the Japanese name and the English name. But he just
what happens in it?
Roroku
Rurouni Kenshin.
That shit, yeah.
The guy with the backwards with the blunted blade sword.
Yeah.
He has the X.
Yeah.
He has a blunted sword?
Yeah.
It's like backwards so that he hits you. Yeah, because he swore not to kill again.
Oh, jeez. But
it's a good anime.
Yeah, it's really
Dickens,
good.
Though, right? I just just breaking bones, huh?
Oh yeah, he'll fuck you up. It's like how Batman doesn't kill, but I mean the hospital bills alone, dude. You're like,
right? This was like, man, I wish you had just put me in the ground. This is so, like, I ain't peed right since. Shit just stinged me.
Batman got me shitting blood.
There it is. Oh man, that sounds rough.
Somebody did that to me, and I don't even remember the English name, but it is a really good anime, and I hadn't seen it. Like, he was gatekeeping properly.
When I saw it, it was known as Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah,
and I'm probably even saying it wrong. I have to say it like that gatekeepery way that they do.
Yeah, I don't even know if there is I don't think I've ever heard of English.
Yeah, I thought I had
for that.
I could be wrong.
And I feel like back in the day, like, you know, and keeping in mind, like, I'm an old man, you know, I know this, where it's like, you know, I was watching anime before there was like fan subs. You know, like, you had to have a friend that knew Japanese to understand what was going on, right? And we're watching some bootleg stuff that we got imported from Japan. That's how old I've been, or how long I've been watching anime. But back in that day, it was like obviously there was some anime that just didn't have English names, and you had to learn how to say it because that's the title. But the ones that did have English names, you just use the English names because it's like, oh, thank God, You know, because none of us are out here speaking Japanese anyway, right? So, it's like, thank you for just being Fist of the North Star. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like something that we would have to work really hard to pronounce. And so, that was the thing where, and so sometimes you did have to learn the Japanese name because that was all there was. There was no other name. But it's like now, I was like, dude, we got English and Japanese names. It's like, you can learn both, but if you're in an English setting, just call it by the English name.
Look, you got Spanish names now too, because like
really,
Larry, Shorty, the dude that works with me, like he's a Dragon Ball Z fan.
No, how do you say Dragon Ball Z in Spanish?
He just calls it Goku. I'm watching Goku. but he's got like, I mean, he's got statues and shit. Like every time he goes to some place where they have statues, he buys one. And it's like the thing is, because in the 80s in Guatemala they aired it there because the Spanish rights channels were international channels, so they would air them here, Canada, in Spanish. So you would see them like almost simulcast. So he watched it, and his kids watched it, and his grandkids watched it because they keep reviving it. So there's something he shares with 3 generations of his family.
There it is. I know it's like that in Belize too, where they have like a lot of channels that just show like international stuff too. And it's like it's just the airwaves. It's not even like you got to pay anything special. Like that's just
it's countries that
you just watch TV in Belize, and it's like every channel.
Wait, so how
they
does
don't necessarily have an entertainment industry native to that country, so they just buy rights from all over the world.
So you ever ask him about Chi-Chi?
Yeah,
I mean, it's in Spanish.
Yeah, but he likes Bulma.
Don't we all?
Yeah, it was like I tripped out. Like, and he's like, I can, I watched it then, and but that's one of those things. Like you got it in, it's all over the world. It got popular. Anime got popular all over the world. So
absolutely.
You got to have different names.
But I mean,
Le Melee Titan Gigant. Yeah, the Attack on Titan. Yeah.
Listen, I will tell you right now, and you call me whatever kind of weirdo you want to call me, but if someone made like a YouTube video and pronounced like all the names of the different animes in the different countries, but correctly, I'd probably watch that. Like that would probably be like some old like ASMR type stuff for me. Like, where I just be like, oh,
I'll have it ready by Monday.
That's what Attack on Titan sounds like in Guam?
Subscribe, like, and hit the bell.
I know. Right. No, absolutely. I'd watch that joint for days. Like I wish I had the language skills for it. Like, but I don't. So, but it's okay. It's okay. Caller, you are the 5th member of Fantastic Forum. Tell the people who you are, where you're calling from, and what you want to talk about.
I'm Derek H. I'm calling from NoHo. NoHo. I guess that's funny.
NoHo.
And I was calling to talk about a couple things. First of all, I bought it's Free Comic Book Day on Friday. What's going on?
Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah, I'm sorry, Saturday.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, I'm like, did they move Free Comic Book Day to Friday? Because if so, then the industry's in trouble.
Only DC.
I was like, oh. But yeah, Saturday. Okay, got it.
I bought a couple comics on Amazon on my Kindle the other day. I bought Gunsmith Cats, like the compendium of Gunsmith Cats, because I love Gunsmith Cats. Those anime, you gotta talk about anime.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got that. Halo is coming out. Halo is going to be on, I guess, later tonight. Picard is ending. And then I think tomorrow I'm going to be going to see Doctor Strange, I believe.
Yep.
Fall through, Derek. Fall through.
Derek's going to come with us. He might have to drive me home. He might have to carry me home.
Yeah, I ain't driving you home. I've driven you home before. I'm not driving you home again. I might drive you home.
Luckily, Derek, it's along the way because you got to go up that way anyway. So
got a long trip. I got to take.
Let me ask you this question, Derek. Were you gonna what in his car?
I always leave something in his car.
Oh, sometimes it's vomit.
Nah.
No, one time he left like a horn or something in my trunk for like 4 years or whatever.
You got the horn?
Yeah, like that was in my trunk for how long?
Oh, it's a drinking horn.
Yeah, it's my drinking horn.
Oh,
I always drink out of it on my birthday.
I wouldn't have given it back.
You're gonna bring that tomorrow?
Hell yeah.
For Doctor Strange? You need like a goblet for Doctor Strange.
Well, I'm working on like retrofitting it with like a bong.
This will go have a contraption. I'm not mad at it.
You love it. I'm ready to go for the show. I got everything.
Let's go.
I do the show out of my closet. So.
So, Derek H., let me ask you this question. Have you transitioned fully to digital comics, or you just bought those particular comics digitally?
No, I have transitioned fully to digital comics. I can't, my eyes have gotten so bad. I remember I got, the last comic I bought was not Saga. I bought Saga back, but I had the same, no, I bought, what was it? I think it was a Batman, like, annual or something that had Robin stuff in it. And I bought it, and I never got to read it because I can't read it no more. My eyes are too bad, and everything.
How'd you get glasses?
I wear contacts already.
You wear contacts? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I can't hide these beautiful eyes behind glasses.
But Derek, then that means you need a different prescription, right?
I mean, I have to go to the eye doctor.
Yeah,
that I'll probably need some kind of insurance or whatever. I don't want to get into a whole thing about the health insurance in the United States. I don't want to get into that.
Okay, I just say you got like 2 jobs.
Yes, I do. I don't want to get into the whole problem with health insurance in the United States.
Okay, I'm sorry, Derek. I apologize. Like I apologize. This is not right. You're right. Like you should be able to go to the eye doctor if you have one job. You should be able to go to the eye doctor, but you definitely should be able to go.
Like okay, the X-rays and all that is free on the visit, and then they sell you the everything else. Yeah.
They treat me like a black man, and I'm scared they're gonna start treating me like a woman and take all my medical rights away.
Damn. Damn. Hey, listen. Look, it's funny because it's true. But anyway. I believe you guys haven't talked about Moon Knight yet, have you?
Yeah, we talked at the beginning.
We did. We talked about it early.
Spoilers and everything.
Coming late. Okay, never mind it. I was gonna say I liked it. I didn't think they're gonna be I did not believe they're gonna be the stick that landing because they were taking their sweet time, but they did. So
yeah,
good for them.
Out of 5,
I agree with you. 100%.
How many moon-shaped blades out of 5 would you give?
I'll give it 4.
Okay.
I got 4 out of 5. When it first started, I didn't like the way they were using mental health as a crutch because it always upsets me when they do that because it means that people just won't get the help they need. I will say it again: if somebody has a mental illness, it should not be a plot point because it is not a superpower. It's something you should probably see a professional about instead of going around thinking and the people around you should need to know that you need help and that you shouldn't you're not some kind of poker genius or whatever they call you or going around you need help. You should feel okay to go get the help instead of thinking I should be a superhero. No, you shouldn't be. You need help. And it upset me because they're cheating somebody who had a clear mental illness as that's part of his superpower. Like, no, that he should probably be in therapy. Other than that, though, I liked it. I'm gonna watch, I guess, Picard tonight, and I will, and also Halo, which I'm also enjoying. And then I'm trying trying to think on. I was trying to think what should I do for Free Comic Book Day. Like, is that a thing? Is that really a thing anymore? Especially with COVID, do people go get free comics? If I go there,
Yeah.
Is there gonna be a long line there, or is there not gonna be any good free comics that's gonna get a bunch of Archie stuff left on the table?
It depends on what they ordered, but yeah, there's going to be stuff happening. I've seen them promoted on Instagram already, the different shops. But if you're going all digital, Comixology will have every Free Comic Book Day comic there ready to download on Free Comic Book Day. That's what they've done every year. I don't know with this new Amazon transition what they'll do, but that's what they've done. Like, you can get every Free Comic Book Day digitally from Comixology. Or even the other, like the individual, like Dark Horse will have theirs on their app.
So do you hand the artist your Kindle and have them sign the digital copy and then screenshot it? Like, how does that work?
You know what? I just pay him cash and buy something off his table and have him sign that.
Listen, what I will say is this, Derek. You live in North Hollywood, man. Like, there's a lot of good comic book shops up that way.
Yeah.
There are.
And the fact is, you
never seen one.
Huh?
There's one right on
Ventura.
Ventura. There's one right on Ventura Boulevard right there.
Golden Apple closed, right?
It did, but Golden Apple's not in North Hollywood though. It's in Hollywood. Like,
I mean,
Derek,
it was north of where I lived, and it was Hollywood. So,
like North Hollywood is technically like the valley,
Yeah.
and so. But what I'm saying is, like, you between two comic book shops in North Hollywood, Derek, you could probably get whatever Free Comic Book Day book you want, because there's like at least two decent shops there that will probably order. If they don't order everything, they'll order like basically all the stuff that you would want.
Now, are people going to be there dressed up in cosplay? Because one of the best parts of Free Comic Book Day is going to a comic book shop and seeing a hot girl, big old boobies, flowing out, dressed as some kind of Wonder Woman or Miss Marvel.
I never got to go to those shops.
Don't even get too excited, because nowadays she won't. You're going to be locked in for 18 years.
I'm sitting here like, this guy was just talking about women's rights, and now he's talking about big boobies.
Yeah, right to show their big boobies.
Yeah, they have the right. They have the right. Don't try to put them in a burqa. No, they have the right to show some boobies off. I remember seeing there was a girl dressed up like a Scarlet Witch. I'm still on her Facebook to this day.
Now, what I will say is, I don't know what Free Comic Book Day looks like post-COVID. Like, because I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, we didn't have Free Comic Book Day last year, really, right? Because it was still
is it still a thing that people do? I know it was.
I mean,
comic shops were just holding on by a thread. Every time you go to Free Comic Book Day, there'll be like the one guy he'd be sweating, saying, "Please buy something else. Please buy something else." all about to go out of business, and I don't want them to be like dead when I go in there.
Well, yeah, and I can't say, just because I don't know what shop you would necessarily end up at and how those shops have been doing in the North Hollywood area, but I would venture to say that I'm sure that like the bigger shops in that area were probably fine, because they have a steady fan base, or a steady customer base. Maybe that's a better way to say it. And it's like you can go in and you can drop $5 on a book and then get free comics, and drop $5 at another spot and get free comics, and you're good.
$5 is not free. I don't plan on spending $5.
You don't have to.
Yeah, a table.
Free is free.
Get a bag of comics for 10 cents. I want a bunch of 10-cent comics.
That could happen.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to spend any money at the comic book shop, but it's kind of like not tipping. You can be that guy, sure.
Yeah, and plenty of people are. Like, nobody's gonna look at you like, oh, I thought he was gonna be the one to buy something. Some of that's just racism.
I want to walk out of there with a whole bunch of British heavy metal comics, British comics, the heavy metal comics, the Mega City 80, Mega. I don't know what was it called, Mega AD comics or something. The ones that
Yeah.
Judge Dredd used to be in. Like that's the one. Those are the ones that I'm looking for. Now I don't expect to pay more than 25 cents for them, and they better not charge me tax either.
Hey, I don't know what to tell you, man. What I can tell you, what I know is one of the things that's happening on Free Comic Book Day, which I'm sure almost every comic shop is going to have, is Marvel's big crossover, that AXE Judgment Day is happening.
I'm done with Avengers vs. X-Men. They got me too many. I tried buying that comic once years ago when it came out 20 years ago, whatever. It didn't make any sense, and I ended up buying the same issue twice because they had this stupid thing where they could put in different covers, like 5 different covers on the same issue, and then split them up over weeks. So I ended up buying the same issue like 2-3 times. I was like, I'm done with this. And it was all about the Phoenix Force. I don't know the Phoenix Force. Who cares about the Phoenix Force? Who was the Phoenix? But now it's 5 people. So that's the way they can sell it to more people. Marvel needs to do something about their stories because their stories are stupid. And they got to stop relying on the Phoenix Force and this, what do you call it? Going back to old ass X-Men 92, whatever that is. I'm done with that. I want something new. I want something good. And they better not mess up the Punisher logo. I heard they were changing the Punisher logo. I don't want none of that either. Like at most, I might get a Spider-Man if that's even a thing anymore. Like, do they still are they going to try to push some new person on me that they're trying? I want some good old-fashioned comic books. And I want them free.
Well, I mean, like Judgment Day is free, and it's not Avengers versus X-Men. It's X-Men versus Eternals with the Avengers caught in the middle, which is different.
What?
Yeah.
Look, if it's not going to be in the MCU, I don't want it. And
it probably will be in the MCU.
Eternals versus X-Men.
Yeah.
You are drunk. They're never making another Eternals. Eternals are never showing up again. They're never going to even mention that big giant Eternal head floating in the ocean. The next Eternal and next Avengers movie. That's not going to be a thing. You're not going to see a helicarrier circling around a big giant stone head in the ocean because it's not there. They didn't mention it in Moon Knight. In fact, Moon Knight not going to be in the Avengers.
I don't listen, Derek. I don't feel like every movie and every TV show doesn't have to reference everything that's happening in the MCU.
That's how the MCU works. I don't know if you noticed. That's how the MCU works.
Not all of it.
Yes, all of it.
Guardians didn't do that, and everyone loves Guardians supposedly, right? What did Guardians reference?
Guardians showed up in the Avengers. What are they talking about?
I'm talking about when Guardians came out. When Guardians came out, it was its own thing by itself.
No, but it connected with Thanos and the Power Stone.
The whole thing was about the Avengers. The whole thing is about Power Stone.
Listen.
It started out with him singing a song, getting the first Power Stone. He started it all.
When we were say again.
Don't try to trick me.
I'm not tricking you. I'm just saying it's self-contained.
Guardians was not self-contained.
Thanos was in it. We had already seen Thanos in the Avengers.
I gotta get my medicine.
Oh no, Derek is like, don't work yourself up, Derek.
About the Power Stone, and Captain Marvel, it is not sit out somewhere by itself. I don't want anybody. And plus I don't want that in my comics. I don't want something that's going to reference stuff that I'm never going to see again. I don't want a part 1 of 10 on Free Comic Book Day. I want a 1 of 1 of a person I recognize. I want a Punisher 1 of 1. So you want
like a totally self-contained story on Free Comic Book Day?
Yes.
Yeah,
that could happen.
And not some no name person. I want like Jim Lee or somebody that actually knows how to draw on it too. I don't want some new guy that give it a shot to.
And he wants it all for free.
Yeah, I want it for free.
Yeah.
I'm helping them out.
Thank you for your call. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for your support of women's medical rights.
Rights.
Yeah.
And ability to show their breasts.
Yeah.
I will see you all tomorrow.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
Woo!
Thank
Thanks,
you for your
Derek.
call.
Fantastic Forum away.
Look, one of the comics coming out tomorrow for Free Comic Book Day that Derek should definitely get is the best Archie comic ever, number 0.
Yeah.
Like I think I might just grab that and just send it to Derek because I'm pretty sure.
I want to grab all of them, really. Like I do. I wish I think coming back, we're gonna talk about Free Comic Book Day and Doctor Strange review next week. So subscribe, hit the bell. But I think we should definitely review some of these free comic book days. See,
of course,
they get But back to this Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah, man.
They brought it up. I just like saying Mushoku Tensei,
Hey,
but
sure.
Jay brought it up. We were supposed to, we had a weird review because he brought it up. I thought we were gonna do the OVA. Larry watched the first 2 episodes, and then
of Jabba. Before,
yeah. So we ended up reviewing different segments and then I didn't even watch any of it. But I eventually did because I liked our review of it, and your review of it, and man, this thing's amazing. It's Jay. When Jay explained it, like it's a dude that gets reincarnated into this fantasy world, and he still has his mind, his 38-year-old mind or whatever, in a baby. It's like, he's like, yeah, it's like this, and I forget what the genre is called. He called it something gatekeepy in Japanese. And I was like, after watching, I'm like, you know what? Joe's on that Larry bullshit where he doesn't explain shit right.
Damn, what?
Yeah, because this is like modern day Kafka, man. You ever read the Metamorphosis? Like this is like that. Like this is if we would have read this and study the same concepts that we did when we did Franz Kafka and the Metamorphosis in 10th grade, I would have got an A. Because it's definitely very Kafkian. And to me, it's like, man, it elevates. Anime to me is a high art form. Period. Like I love it, even at its base form. Like it's, and I always joke about how they cut corners for animation and shit. But even the ability to budget like that is an art form. The business is an art form, and they make it a business. And there's a lot of when there's those episodes where Joe complains about certain animation. I'm like, that's anime. And I see a lot of those examples here, but they're not jarring, and the story flows well. And I was like, man, yeah, this is like high literature for me. Like, and then I was watching it at work, and the client came, cut his hair, and he's like, oh, I read all this already. And I guess he
read the manga.
Yeah. So I was like, I was debating, should I just buy the whole manga and just read this? Because I don't want to have to wait, for the next season, and it's worth it. Like if it's anything like the show, it's worth it. And from my experience, usually the printed version is better. And so I'm just gonna go for it.
It's really good. Like there are some minor differences, but overall, like it's really good.
And it's just really like, the growth that his Arrested Development in his previous life, he's working on here. And honestly, if it was just some mystic force that just did it, and that's just his learning, like the universe needs him to learn. Like I love that about Franz Kafka. I love it about, there's a terrible movie called Bruiser that is that too. Like the guy never stands up for himself. So one day he wakes up and he has no face. And that's it. Like he's got to earn his face back. The universe decided, and they never explain who it is or why. The universe decided he needs to earn his face back. And it's like it's a bad movie. It's made by a what'd you say, Oz? No.
Dude, my mic was even muted.
I I heard something in my ears. I wasn't looking at who said it, but it sounded like your voice. Maybe it was an echo. But yeah, like that movie is not a good movie. It's made by George Romero of Night of the Living Dead. It was great, but the movie itself isn't great. And then the people in it are great, and it just happens to not be that great a movie. And
I don't think I like this.
But I love the movie because he's like he earns his face. Like, you know.
Look, the face is messing you up, Jay.
Yeah.
Share it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I like that at all.
With Jobless Reincarnation, it just hits all the points. Like, he's learning, you know, he seems advanced as a kid only because he's been a kid already, and he knows better in certain things, and he can help. Yeah. Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah. That's what he looks like. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No thanks. I agree with Jay.
It's a great actor playing that role. Jason Fleming. He's really good, and he's really good. He's really good in everything, and he's really good in here with that thing on his face. Yeah, like emoting and all that with that thing on his face.
Man.
But yeah, it's Peter Stormare is in it. Like, everybody loves him, the Russian guy, character actor. Yeah.
Is that what? Is he actually Russian?
I think he's Russian. Yeah.
Is he the dude from Armageddon?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen Armageddon, but I'm pretty sure that he's in that.
Have you really not seen Armageddon?
I mean, I've seen it, but I like, it's not. Again, I'm over here comparing Mushoku Tensei to Kafka. You think I'm gonna pay attention to Armageddon? Yeah.
I got you. But Bay should be in that conversation. Bay. No.
Well, in fact, yeah, it's this movie Bruiser is like if Michael Bay adapted Franz Kafka.
That's funny. Okay, no, I'm sorry, Mo. Continue.
But yeah, no, but it's where the way that the character grows even further and develops even further in this series is really endearing. Even the pervy moments and those are just funny because it's like you're always, and I turned my brother onto this because he's like, yeah, they always say the pervy old man, and it's like, yeah, we're born pervy old men. We just say the older we get, we say things more out loud because we stop giving a fuck. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, and that's what I told him. You got to watch fucking Mushoku Tensei, and then he's like, bless you, you know. It's like literally like the kid's born and he's rolling on the ground sniffing the maid's panties, you know. And it's just like, it's a perfect thing, but it's just funny. And it's like, well, it's a 38-year-old dude in the baby's brain, like he's looking at these titties, yeah. And it's not even so good. It's gratuitous. Like the way they do that, like low class humor is actually classy because it's not, it's not graphic, and it's all just inner monologue, you know.
Yeah.
It just works. It works really well on all these different levels. So I want to thank you, Jerry. And now I'm mad because I have to read a whole series after watching the show.
So you watch like both seasons, basically?
I'm on, well, because I remember you explained that season 1 is like actually like 12 episodes, and then but they just call it season 1 on Hulu. So I'm on episode 18 or 19 of that first season. So I got like 3 episodes to go, and knowing me, I'm not gonna watch them because I just don't want it to be over, you know. So, so I watched it all. Like I watched, I think 12 episodes in one day, and then I watched a little each day till I got to this point, and then I stopped when I started watching.
You should just go ahead and watch them, and then there's like or you should watch like, I don't know if there are 3 left.
Yeah.
Are you watching them subbed or dubbed?
I'm watching dubbed.
Okay, that's how I watched it as well, and that makes us fake anime fans apparently.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, I'm pretty sure that
No, go ahead. If
No,
you're a
you're
dude
right.
in a different country and that's what you get, like, you don't call him a fake anime fan. Like the TV
I
don't
agree
give him,
100%.
you know.
Listen, I'm not the one that would do it. It's these other people. It's the same people that say
Real
the
anime
Japanese
fans
name and they
would
don't
learn
tell you the English
Japanese.
name.
If you're a real anime fan, you'd learn Japanese.
Yeah,
Right,
like
exactly.
a
And it's
girl
like,
in
no,
anime.
I wouldn't, because Japanese is hard. Like it's real hard, and there are other options to watch.
That's
anime.
why. That's why a real anime fan is hard, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I did try
Mm-hmm.
to learn Japanese over the quarantine, and it
Did you
didn't
really?
work. Yeah, I was doing the calligraphy and everything. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
making flashcards, and I made all the flashcards, the 500 most widely used words in conversational Japanese,
Mm-hmm.
and I studied them for a day, and yeah, here we are. Now I
There it
can say
is.
Mushoku Tensei,
Right. Paid off. It worked.
but I still have to
What I was
fight.
gonna say is
I have to fight autocorrect every time I type it.
the last 3 episodes. I think the like the final two, or the not the final two, the two before the end are dubbed, but that last one is only subbed.
Okay,
And
that's
so
all good.
you should just watch the two that are dubbed, and then one that's
Wait
sub
on
you
it.
can, or
Yeah.
you can just wait, and then that way you can read the anime or read the manga. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
if you so choose.
Yeah, no, I will. And I asked the dude, like the customer that told me that he read it all already
Mm-hmm.
or is current on it.
Mm-hmm.
I go, oh, how much was it like for the whole thing? And he's like, oh, I guess he reads bootlegs, which I
Oh.
would never do. But I like, my initial thought was, because I liked it so much, it's like, okay, am I going to spend like how many volumes in there? Like, I'm prepared to spend about $120 to just have it all
Mm-hmm.
delivered, because I want to
Mm-hmm.
get the little book. Like, I got this Witcher
Mm-hmm.
one back here. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
want to get the little for this particular, Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. I want to get the little books,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna do the bootleg shit for that.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's how much I
So,
enjoyed it. Even Emily enjoyed it, but she's like, I was watching it, she's like, without me, and I'm like, well, I didn't know if you wanted to watch it. She's like, oh, just catch me up. So she watched it like periodically, and I would tell her, like, in 20 minutes, catch her up. And
right.
but she recognized, from my description, she recognized the character later on that came back, and she's like, hey, that's the guy from over there. You're like, yeah, there, here we go.
Nice.
I did it in Japanese too.
Jay, you've read the manga as well?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you took current?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Jeez,
How many volumes is it, Jay?
I want to say 15.
Okay.
Sheesh. Wow.
At about $10 a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. But no, it's a great show, man, and I feel like it does a great job of like subverting expectations, and some things it plays out the way that you would think it would up until a certain point, and then that's where it subverts the expectation. And yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's just a great story, great characters. It feels like it's trying purposefully not to like lull you into or I guess it feels like it's purposefully trying not to fall into the tropes. And especially when you're talking about like, this genre, it's like there's a lot of tropes already,
Yeah.
despite the fact it being, I guess, relatively new, right? Because the genre's been around what now? It's only been so many years, right? Like, it's not like, I don't know. Like, I can't think of, was Dot Hack the beginning of this? I don't know. Do you know, Jay?
Technically, Technically, this genre's been around forever.
Yeah.
Forever since when?
Like King in King Arthur's Court. A Kid in King Arthur's Court. That's the same thing. Kind of, I think.
What you call it? What's the dog boy? Inuyasha is an isekai.
Really? What game were they playing in Inuyasha?
They were.
What world? Or what world is it in Inuyasha? Like, what is it?
It's a feudal world based on feudal Japan.
And he's like from the present or something?
No, Inuyasha's not the traveler. Kagome is.
I've never watched it. I know people like it. I know it's a big
Kagome travels to a different world and meets Inuyasha. So she's the traveler.
And she's from present day?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah. I tried watching Inuyasha, but it never like resonated with me.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah, I don't think it's for me. It's like I think I'd just rather watch like the Korean dramas or something if I was gonna do that. But anyway. Yeah, so cool. But all this to say Jobless Reincarnation's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Now, when you are buying, just make sure you check the writing because there are two Mushoku Tenseis. There's Jobless Reincarnation and there's Roxy Get Serious.
Okay.
So you're looking for Jobless Reincarnation.
I can't do Roxy Get Serious?
You can, but it's a different writer and it has a little different feel to it.
Okay.
A lot more fan servicey.
Is it in continuity?
Yes.
Okay.
Like annoyingly so.
Well, and that's when when I was like texting you guys about it, like it made me buy Octopath Traveler because I played that game and loved it. But I only played one character, and it's different characters that converge. Their stories converge into one, but you get to play 8 different characters. Like, so it's with that, the episode with Roxy, the episode with the dad, like it makes it feel like it reminded me of, like I enjoyed that the same way I enjoyed the Octopath Traveler. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna buy this fucking game too. Yeah.
Okay. Like, oh, and don't get me wrong, like I love Roxy's the Roxy story. Like, it's great. Like, the only thing a little annoying is like sometimes it's her origin, and sometimes they'll like flash to the flash forward, and that's a little annoying because sometimes they'll reference something that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
In the manga. But other than that, I really enjoy it, even though it's kind of fan servicey.
Okay.
Yeah. So, shall we move on to Justice League?
Yeah. I play the music.
Sounds good.
Comic book
review.
Comic book
Like review.
Well, not like that, but like.
Oz, do you feel up to telling us about Justice League Justice League 75?
It's fine.
Well, can you tell the people like what the book's about?
It's about the Justice League.
Indeed.
It just, I was a little bit upset when I read it. Actually, I didn't read 74, and I hadn't been reading Justice League in a while, and it upset me because, and I don't. Maybe you can tell me if I'm wrong because I'm assuming you read 74.
I actually have not read 74. I read like how you did. I went in. I went. Oh, look at the puppy! Look at the puppy! That no puppy! That puppy read 74. Just League 74. Tell us about a puppy. Never mind. Go ahead, Todd.
So it it's supposed to be the beginning of a new arc, a new crisis, or whatever. And the way it opens is this other Justice League team just shows up out of nowhere and says, "Hey, shit's going down. We need your help." And it's just
Justice Incarnate, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of like jarring the way it just suddenly happened, like a proper issue 1 of a new story arc. In fact, it helped that I literally had just put down the last book of Justice League Incarnate when I picked this up, and it just felt like turning the very next page. Like there's no there's nothing in between. It was literally like, yeah, okay, oh, that's cool. That's where it ends. Put that down, pick this up. Wow, right, like 5 seconds later, it just picks up like that. And I don't think Justice League Incarnate got that enough readers to warrant something like that. Like I think a lot of people that read Justice League are like, what the hell? Who's this team? who's this Purple Flash? What's up with that? You know, there's just so many characters. Like the only 2 characters that they might recognize are Barack Superman, and that's what he is. And I don't did Thomas Wayne make it? I forget.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think he's on a different team, or he was on a different.
No, he was an Incarnate, but I think he got. Was? Yeah, well, and
in the
got splash pointed.
Yeah. He got something happened to him that threw him back into the Flashpoint Beyond.
Because they even mentioned it at the they're telling Bruce about what happened with the dad, but you just hear it as a background vocal, like background conversation.
Yeah, and look, Justice League Incarnate was a good book. It good arc, I guess, because it's 5 plus a 0, so let's say 6. Okay. And I recommend people should read that, but it's just the way they just threw everything into Justice League 75. I'm assuming 74 was just the end of whatever story arc they were on at that point. It's just I didn't like it. It bugged me. It didn't feel like a proper first issue. It didn't even feel like a 0 issue, to be honest. It just felt like, okay, stuff's happening now.
It felt like an issue 75.
Jay, well, but it does it feel like issue 75 leading from 74, or does it feel like 75 leading from something else?
No, it feels like if you haven't read the first 74 issues, then you probably won't know what's going on. But that's the
thing.
Written.
Justice League Incarnate wasn't in 74, I don't think. That was its own thing.
Yeah,
that was its own series.
And that's you all know. Like, look, I know we don't like to talk about it much. Like, we like to pretend like this isn't the case, but you all know that DC is good for having like crossover type stuff happening and having no, like, they don't care that you've only been reading your one title. Like, you all remember this. Like, whatchamacallit was like that. What big crossover was like that before, where it's like it literally hopped from book to book? It wasn't
like Bruce Wayne Murderer, like those back in the day. Was it No Man's Land? You know,
I don't even.
Yeah, but I feel like No Man's Land at least did it inside the Bat books, right?
Right.
I don't even think I saw a little asterisk saying "read the Incarnate" or anything like that. It just
no, absolutely not. It doesn't. And I can't think of what book it is. I feel like it was or what event it was, but there was a like DC has had many events where they're like, okay, like they'll have like the main book, like, you know, whatever the title crossover is, like just for as an example, let's say the book was what Crisis on Infinite Earths or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Then a crossover into like an issue of Wonder Woman, and to know what's happening, you literally have to go from Crisis on Infinite Earth 3 to that issue of Wonder Woman to know what happens next. Because if you pick up Crisis on Infinite Earth 4, there's like 3 books that happen in between there that were keeping that story going along, and you're just completely lost from issue 3 to 4.
Yeah. And
Like,
they all
as
came out
opposed
the
to like
same
how
week.
Marvel did, huh?
And they all came out the same week.
I mean, they might come out the same week, they may
No.
not. I mean, because
Depends on which titles they were. For DC, it could get like that. Because even
no,
like
you're right.
how you're saying, like, oh well, Bruce Wayne Murder, No Man's Land, War Games, they all happen within the Bat books, but it's like not everybody was reading Orpheus,
No,
Like,
no, and I agree with you on that. Right.
so
I agree with you on that.
That's like on a smaller level, but that's what they did. That's why for DC, I would always just wait for the trade paperback, because the trade paperback included them in like the publishing order. So
Right.
it's not like where Marvel,
Right.
like, you get the like House of M, you get the Fantastic Four House of M, X-Men House
Right.
of M, Spider-Man. Those is like volume 1 of War Games, and then I don't even
Right.
know who wrote what. Like I just
Right.
read a seamless story.
Yeah, when you
Right.
read the trade, like unless you notice the art difference or the fact that
Yeah.
well, Nightwing's in this a lot now, like
Right. It's
you,
like,
you
oh,
don't
this
even
is
you
like
don't even
this.
notice that you're in
Yeah.
a different book, because they put all the covers like at the end.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
it works because it's a like for me, War Games is like a good story. Like I watched everything play out. Yeah,
I like War Games
Well, it's a
too.
good story if you're reading every comic.
that's what I'm
But-
saying. That's why I waited for the trade paperback. Yeah,
Right, but for those people that don't buy trades, they're like,
fuck them.
where am I supposed to go next?
Well, see, that screws me because I bought all the Justice League Incarnate books and it didn't really end.
Oh, it's about to, I guess, in this.
Yeah, and that's not what
Yeah.
I didn't like, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
these are all Grant Morrison's creations, right?
Justice League Incarnate?
Yeah, like Captain Carrot, like that's the stuff he did in Multiversity.
Yeah, but he didn't do like President Superman.
Yeah, he did.
Did he? Was that
Yeah.
him? What
That was-
I
about
don't know.
Thomas
That was
Wayne?
Multiversity number 2. Thomas Wayne wasn't him. That was Brian Azzarello.
Okay, so it's a amalgamation.
They're using his the whole multiverse aspect that he did in Multiversity is kind of the basis for this, and the characters they're using, like Captain Carrot, he did. I don't know if he created Captain Carrot, but I know he did that book for Multiversity, and I think the Chinese speedster, he did.
Hmm. Yeah, and look, that could be the case. Like, I believe it. I believe it. I honestly don't know.
We reviewed Multiversity for the show. Live
Yeah,
from your
no, I remember reading Multiversity, but I don't remember all the characters in it.
I remember not liking it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't
So-
like Obama's Superman.
He was created by Roy Thomas and Scott Shaw.
Captain
Who?
Carrot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that's who Joe was looking at.
Right. He's like,
I
that's
know
the
he liked
important one.
he liked Captain Carrot when we reviewed it back then.
And Captain Carrot is like is like beat down at this point, man.
Yeah,
He is not the Captain Carrot from like Dark
No.
Knights, Metal, and all that. Like,
They
dude,
don't make
dude,
Captain Carrot edgy.
dude,
Well,
see,
no,
he's
he's
seen
weathered.
some things, man.
he's weathered. Yeah.
Yeah. Like when he shows up in Justice League, they're looking at him like, dude, you look fucked up, man. What happened?
Like, my friend, I can't. I'm so sorry these things have happened to you, and he's just quiet. He's like,
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
the best thing about this book is that it gets you to read Justice League Incarnate, which is a good story. There's one book that actually gives you like they go through the whole history of how the universe is created.
The one issue of Justice League Incarnate that does that?
Yeah, and like
Oh,
it goes through how it was created, and then what the crises actually were, and how that leads into the other. Like they try to explain the whole history of the universe and why it became 52, and then why it went back to this, and then why it is what it is now, and how it became the Omniverse. It's an interesting story.
Okay.
Well, I can say it's not going to get me to read Justice League Incarnate. Like, there's just nothing here for me. Like,
that's because it all happened in Incarnate.
Right. Well, if this was their attempt to get me to read Incarnate, they needed to do it different. Because I just felt like they were throwing random shit at me, and the Justice League died with no pomp, flair, or circumstance. It just happens. And then it's like, read more. It's like, no, there's literally nothing here. It doesn't even feel like anything real is at stake.
Damn.
And the art's inconsistent.
Yeah, it is.
It's true.
Like, I thought there was two artists at one point, and it's not.
Yeah. that is true.
I don't know why Zatanna has a trench coat all of a sudden. Like, that's not my Zatanna.
Well, she's part of the Trenchcoat Brigade because they don't have a fucking whatchamacallit, Mr. E or Phantom Stranger on that team.
Then they don't explain. Well, I guess. See, look, Hal Jordan shows up, and nobody knows why he's got God powers. Like, I know because I've been reading Green Lantern. Like, I saw the book where he's having a conversation with God. that happened. Well, it's the source, and the source has always been God, right? In DC.
Oh, has it always been?
That's what I thought it was. It was the source.
Oh, okay.
You know, the source of all things, blah blah blah. But he's having a conversation with God in a book, and that's like half the book is them talking to each other. But here he just shows up, and you don't know why he's so powerful.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff coming together from other books with no explanation. And no, like, you're just supposed to accept, okay, John Stewart is just that powerful. Okay, I guess it was an Incarnate Justice League. Whatever. Obviously they couldn't handle it. You put the Black Superman in charge, they ain't gonna solve nothing. You know?
Damn. Why's it gotta be all that, Oz? Why's it gotta be all that?
Can you just do it in the Mitch McConnell voice? Like, think about in charge of something, nothing's gonna get done.
I don't speak turtle.
Seth Meyers said he's like a haunted doll. He tries to get you when you go to sleep. Yeah. Let's go back to sleep. I'm just a regular doll. Go back to sleep.
I love it. In Saturday Night Live, they always, whenever they mention him, like, they put a picture of him where he's just like, and he's like, here he pictured here putting his children's dogs to sleep.
Oh, jeez. Man.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm sure the story arc's going to be fine. It's going to be good. It's just, there's these.
Now, when you say that, you're talking about like Dark Crisis, or you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, the Crisis stuff usually tends to be at least okay. Rarely is it like bad. I think the Crisis itself will be good, but I just don't like that they threw everything into this book from other books that people might not be reading. You know, why is Darkseid in those chains? That's all from the Incarnate book. You know, it's just it's nah. At least give me the damn box that says, hey, if you read these issues, you'll know why this is like this is like this, and this is like this, and you get none of that.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think? You haven't said anything, Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, I personally thought it was just okay. Like, I mean, like, you all know that, like, without a doubt, I'm more of a Marvel guy than a DC guy, but I still enjoy good DC stories. Especially, like, I like Justice League stories that I feel are composed well. And I know that like this book is actually it's Joshua Williamson, right?
Yeah.
And I generally enjoy his writing. And I know that people were talking about the book generally being a good book, but I think that it very well might just suffer from the idea that, like you said, where it's kind of an issue that's written for people that I guess have been following everything, and maybe it feels different. Like if I had been reading Justice League Incarnate and reading Justice League and then read this book, it might have maybe hit differently. But for me, I was just like, oh, it's okay. You know, it's like I see that there are different like I will say, like, just like you, I was reading or have been reading Green Lantern, so I do know why John Stewart is as powerful as well, and you know, like enjoyed that entire conversation he had with the Source. But that's one small aspect of the entire book, and ultimately it's just kind of like, okay, I mean, they're getting their backsides handed to them by like this, you know, this cadre of different versions of people. But you know, I don't know, it's just like nothing that's happening in the book resonates with me in any special way. And it just so happens that I guess that all the DC books that I'm reading don't really factor into this particular event in any significant way.
That's kind of my thing, because look, when I read it, I liked it. I liked it because, like I said, I had just put down the last Justice League Incarnate book, and it just felt like the story kept going for me. And then you get to John Stewart, and I read those books already. So when you get to that point, like, oh shit, that's because of, you know, all this stuff. But as a casual reader who wants to pick up a new story arc, like, hey, you know, we tell people, all right, this book is where this story starts. That they're going to be lost. Like, why is Darkseid not the main guy? Why is he just Doomsday and Darkseid are just like somebody else's bitch? It just and that's how I try to look at books, because ultimately, just because I'm enjoying it for my own personal reasons, but I want to get other people into it. And I don't think I can say, hey, pick up Justice League 75. It's gonna start this great story arc about, you know, a dark crisis where they're fighting darkness or whatever. It's just it's too much stuff to throw into the first book of a story.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, but that's the thing. Like it's interesting because it would be one thing if this was like the first issue of the book, but it's not the first issue of the book. It's like a kind of like a prelude, right?
Yeah,
it's like a prelude to the actual event, like and so it's like the event is gonna happen, and it's gonna be about, like, you know, the legacy characters and how they're dealing with the whole idea that they have to step up and be the main people, which is interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that's an interesting story concept, but you know, I guess maybe it's one of these things where at the end of the day, it kind of feels like the execution of killing the entire Justice League basically could have been done in a better way, you know.
So I'm looking at 74, and it looks like it's finishing up a Black Adam and Naomi story.
Makes sense. Went from Black Adam and Naomi to everyone's dead. Goddamn.
By the way, it's got the same different art styles thing going. You guys really should look at it, because the first half is amazing, the way it's done, the way it's drawn. Then after it looks like the story gets resolved and they're like discussing, hey, what happened, blah blah blah, it gets like how do I describe it? You know when you get those ads that are like a Snickers ad, but it's like a Justice League character in it. That's what it looks
It's
like.
like a mini comic.
That's hilarious. I hate those.
Yeah, look at 74, and the first half is amazing art, and then it just turns into that.
Into the Snickers ad.
Basically,
Attention to the Snickers
I'm waiting for Naomi.
Is it a different artist, like two different artists, or is it one artist for the book? That's hilarious. I can look.
It says it's one for 75. I don't know about 74.
Wow, Lou Pacino was working on it. There's 3 artist names.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. You know, the other thing I didn't like about Justice League 75 was like the ending. And you know, I mean, I guess spoilers if you all are, you know, like it's called the Death of the Justice League. So you know that they die. But what I didn't like was like I felt like the Black Adam like ending with like, oh, they're all dead at the end and he's all like in the rubble and stuff. It's like that felt very cliche.
Well,
it's like it's one like I'm like, dude, like this was friggin' like it was a Juggernaut with Onslaught, you know, back in the 90s, and then they did it again, or not did it again, but the MCU homaged it with Hulk.
Yeah.
With like, you know, it's like, oh, Thanos is coming, Thanos, you know. And then now we have Black Adam, like they're all dead, and I'm like, man.
At least MCU like tries to make it feel original. Where here it's like this is like shot for shot, like.
Yeah. I'm just like, dude, come on, man. And I'm just like, why would Black Adam even act like that? Like Black Adam doesn't act like that. Like
I attribute it to me not reading comics, DC comics as much. So it's like, oh, okay, they're doing something cool with Black Adam because he's acting this way, you know. They're making him a little more. His story might be a little more interesting.
And that actually kind of pissed me off a little bit too, because I'm reading through this book and I'm getting towards the end, and there's a point where it looks like, okay, so they won, so the Justice League didn't die, and then like it's other little things happened, and I mean, are they dead really? Yeah, we don't really know. Just Black Adam just kind of like pieced out. And it's like, well, I don't think they're really dead.
You don't think so? I mean, they're gonna come back, but the like don't like they show us like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman dying.
No,
and they show Ollie
that's not
dying.
them dying.
That's not them dying.
They turned to skulls.
Yeah, those are different
Ollie.
panels.
What? They're still Ollie? What?
Except they show Ollie dying.
Yeah, he's not really Justice League member though.
Damn.
He's ancillary.
Damn. See? They always say that about the bow and arrow guy.
Honestly, like he's the one that they really just show dying, like fully dying. Yeah, like he has a death scene because he's like, yeah, he's like, why? But even, and, you know, I don't want to talk shit about Josh Williamson, but even like how she's like, oh, where you go, I go, and then at the end it's like, where you go, why did you like? When he's dying, she goes, why did you follow me? Like, yeah, like I know. We know, like, you set it up for this. Like, you don't have to say it again, you know?
Yeah, you should have been like, bitch, I told you. Oh.
No, and just be like, she's like, you know, maybe just be like, no, hold on. And he's like, I can't. And then, you know, have an actual death scene that isn't referencing something they said earlier.
Or if you want to make that reference, have her say, I'm not going where you're going. You can't go there. And then he dies anyway. Oh, I just broke my own heart. That hurt a little bit.
Look, if you want to make it dramatic, his last words are like, don't follow me, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So
we're better writers than Williamson. Fuck that guy.
Not.
What does he know?
I'm not going to say that.
Just fix the story.
I have a sound drop of him saying we're cool. So, you know, ain't talking shit about him at all. He's just, you know, he's writing image books too.
Yeah. right. No, really though.
Oh,
like
that's where
like,
his good load is. Then
he's got
right,
like
we
4
know
books out.
he can write.
I think he's got 1 in Dark Horse, when like 3 on Image coming out like this month. Like they're all being written at the same time. Yeah. But yeah, Jay, you said we're ready to review it.
Should we rate it? Yeah.
Yeah. Larry, what'd you give it?
Look, I don't know, man. I guess I give it like 2.5 out of 5. I like, not only was I not necessarily feeling the story itself, but at the end of the day, like what this book more than anything needs to do is convince me to buy Dark Crisis #1, right? And I don't feel that way at all. Like I'm like I don't like the story, the premise sounds interesting. Like what happens when the next generation of heroes has to become like the generation of heroes? That's an interesting premise. But not only did I not like resonate with the current the current Justice League and Justice League Incarnate getting wiped out, but on top of that, I feel like I don't care about the next generation of heroes that's supposed to come next. Like really, I'm just like, yeah, like I'm not sure if I'm like looking for these characters to like step up per se. So I'm just like, okay, like I like Yara Flor's Wonder Woman, and I'm a fan of whatchamacallit's Fox's Batman. But at the end of the day, though, I'm still like, I don't know if I want to see them on a Justice League type team. So, yeah. So I think 2.5 out of 5. I wasn't feeling it. What did you think, Oz?
I'm gonna go with 3. It's gonna be dependent on what they actually do with the Dark Crisis books. For a issue 75, I agree with what you said. Where I wasn't impressed with this new team in Future State, and I'm not impressed with them now. I like Yara Flor. I think she's interesting. I don't know, man. I got to see what they do with the rest of these books. I'm giving it a 3, and I'm telling people most of my enjoyment came because I've read at least 2. I'm reading at least 2 other series that explain a lot of what's happening in this book. If you're coming in with fresh eyes, it's not going to be a 3 for you. It's not. Just wait till Dark Crisis #1 comes out, and we'll see how they start that story.
Right. What about you, Jay?
Well, I did come in with fresh eyes, and I give it a 1. It just feels like random shit happening, and the Justice League is unceremoniously killed for no good reason.
Yeah.
And the art is not great. Well, some panels are great, but a lot of it's not. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, this didn't make me want to read Justice League or Justice League Incarnate, and it's definitely not hyping me up for Dark Crisis.
Yeah. What about you, Moses?
Me, I came in with fresh eyes as well, and I attributed my confusion to not reading anything, but I guess but it wasn't like I didn't have as bad an experience as in reading this. Like it wasn't the worst book I've ever read. There was aspects of the dialogue that I did enjoy throughout. Like little moments here, like with the Captain Carrot thing. and seeing all these other characters, and I didn't know there was a Justice Incarnate book out. So now, like this book didn't make me want to read that, but Oz did. So I'll go back and read those. And as far as like, I to me, it felt like an issue 0 for Dark Crisis, and I'm not a fan of issue 0s. So like, the way I felt was like typical. I would check out Dark Crisis just because it's a slightly different way of doing a crisis for DC, and I want to see how they would execute that. So for me, yeah, it's a 2.5.
There you go. Yeah. Let me ask you this real quick, Oz. Do you know this Pariah character?
Yeah, he's way back from like the original Crisis.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Like, I guess, like, I don't know that I've even necessarily read the original Crisis, but I'm saying, so this character hasn't shown up at all since then?
He's shown up randomly. Not a lot, but he's shown up every now and then. He even showed up in the TV show.
In what TV show?
In the Arrowverse.
The Crisis.
Pariah?
Yeah. They call him Pariah, but I mean he was the guy that plays Reverse Flash on Flash.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. I do remember that.
Yeah, that's what they did with that character is they turned him into Pariah. He witnesses the destruction of every universe that gets destroyed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's from the original Crisis, and he pops up every now and then, but he's not a huge character. I don't think he ever like actually fights like he does in this one.
This is the first time he actually has some kind of input on what happens.
Yeah, he's usually just a witness. And this one, he's like he's ending his torment because you got to watch the universe die.
Yeah.
All the time. He's trying to like escape that.
That's why they kind of pote him with like the Spectre and the Phantom Stranger, because they're those type of characters,
Okay. And I do know that I do remember them saying that in the book, like Superman saying like Pariah or whatever, and Batman's like, oh yeah, you got cursed, So I guess but it definitely didn't feel enough for me where I'm like, oh, it's Pariah,
Yeah. His first appearance
he's just not.
His first appearance is actually Crisis on Infinite Earths 1.
Oh, okay. And so, that might be a thing where you just got to be deeper in DC lore. But I feel like even if you are in DC lore, it's like, I don't know if this gets put out in such a way where it makes you feel like, oh my God, it's this guy. Like, or maybe something like maybe there was something happening in other books beforehand where you're like, we're waiting to see who this person was going to be behind the scenes or something. I don't know. But
no, he's a known character. Mo's right. He's never, that I can recall, like actually been like done something. Usually he just tells people what he's seen.
He's like the original Pandora, only that they actually did something with him.
Right. And it's interesting because I know that, DC like staved off or pushed away whatever 5G for the longest time, right? And fired Dan DiDio, and
I thought 5G became future state.
Well, that's what they said, right? But then
like we literally
this is 5G.
And we reviewed the other book, was it the Batman one, Flashpoint Beyond, and it says 5G averted like in the chalkboard. Did you guys?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. In the Flashpoint Beyond, right. But now 5G is not averted. 5G's here.
No, they're trying.
They're trying. Like, okay, well, listen, they did a bad job because all the quote unquote main people are gone, and now it's like all of like you don't get the Black Batman and the Brazilian Wonder Woman and the gay Superman, and which, and don't get me wrong, I'm not making commentary in regards to whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
He's a bi Superman because in the future he was hooking up with Saturn Girl, who hooks
There you
up with every she's Saturn girl gets around.
She's got more rings than fucking J-Lo.
See.
Yeah.
But I'm like 5G. 5G made its way back. So which we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's good, but I don't know. This is not a great start. Anyway, it's time for us to get out of here. Unless no, it's time for us to get out of here. I guess we should do some final thoughts, huh?
Yeah, man. I had a Mo deal, but nah, it's okay.
You want to do a Mo deal real quick?
Yeah, just play that music. I'll say it real quick. I'll share my screen while you're playing the thing. I'll get it done in about a minute.
Okay.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
More money, more money, more money, more money.
Dollar, 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 dollar.
Yeah. It's a Mo deal. It's my birthday. I'm saving you some money on fucking comics. And Humble Bundle is celebrating the 30th anniversary of Image Comics, and they're giving you the 90s. So you're getting 20 volumes of Spawn, Astro City, everything from the first volume of 1995 to 1996. Battle Chasers Anthology. They call it an anthology because it never finished. 2019 here, but it did come out in the 90s. So this is a reprint and maybe some extra shit. We get Savage Dragon number 1 to 102. The first trade paperback for Cyberforce. Shadowhawk Chronicles Volume 1. The Darkness issues 1 through 41, which includes my favorite issues 36 and 37, where he teams up with Ripclaw and is drawn by Clayton Crane. Amazing.
Nice.
And Witchblade issues 1 through 61. So you're going to get a lot of the good original story, and then the Paul Jenkins stuff around issue 40 that takes it in a different direction. That's still pretty good too. And then Savage Dragon Baptism by Fire. So you get all these 9 titles with, for about $25. I think at the you get $25, and it goes to a good cause. This one does, I forget what charity this one does. Oh, this was the Book Industry Charitable Foundation. So this helps people learn to read that can't, and gets books in libraries and things like that. So not only you're saving money, it's doing it for a good cause. That's a Mo deal.
Nice.
Savage Dragon shows up in Justice League Incarnate. I mean, they call him Dino Cop, but he's Savage Dragon.
There it is. There it is. All right. There. Thank you, Jay. Oscor, final thoughts.
Still watching Superman Lois, and as much as I'm enjoying the story that they're telling, it annoys me that they keep calling it Bizarro Superman. Because that's not bizarre. Like, I like my Bizarro Superman that was made by Lex Luthor, the clone, and all that. This is just like the mirror universe Superman. But whatever, the story's still good.
There it is.
I'm
Jay, Jay, final thoughts.
Watching Young Justice, it's pretty good. Like, you should check it out. They brought back Razor from the Green Lantern cartoon. It's pretty awesome.
I would suggest they messed them up a little bit, but
maybe a little. But still, overall, a great show. And an amazing season.
Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
May the 4th be with you. All that good shit. It is my birthday. Just do something. Life goes by in a blink of an eye. You open your eyes when you're born and you close them when you're dead. And just make sure that while your eyes are open, you enjoy every minute of it, and don't hurt anybody in that process.
Amen.
And also buy our merch, fantasticforum.live. Get a snazzy hat, shirt, and Larry doesn't have to get a job.
Yeah, man. Don't make me be out on the street telling my body. What?
Like,
Never
Yeah,
mind.
you better
look
try
at
to
him.
find
How much you
out.
think you can get?
Yeah, you want to make money, drive out of town.
For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. We'll be back next week. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want us to do different, what it is you want us to do more. We would appreciate all that feedback. We are the Fantastic Forum. Good night.